When stop mine.
Hey everybody, thanks for checking out our exclusive digital show, the Good Day Austin Round Drop.
We're highlighting and talking about some of our favorite segments from the morning show that you possibly may have missed.
I am digital editorial lead Donnie. I'm joined by Good Day Austin anchors and chili cook-off participants. Dave,
Oh, just
Katie.
me.
Are we going to talk about that?
No, I don't have any video of it.
I do. You should ask me.
I'm sorry. We can still talk about it. We're talking about it.
I'll hold my phone up
Good
and
Day
show.
Austin Roundup, apparently a work in progress. And we'll also talk about the morning show segments in just a minute. First, though, you know what we do. We start with some weather videos.
Yes, let's head to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where heavy thunderstorms hit the region. Check out this video of some choppy waves at the beach as a shelf cloud hovered low in the sky. The National Weather Service said there were rips possible up to 5 feet high. Wow. I was just there at Myrtle Beach.
Was not like
Hopefully
that,
it didn't look like that.
No.
Yeah.
But we had one day where we were on the beach and all of a sudden, we're looking out in the water, it's sunny, but the storms were behind us.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
And I heard claps of thunder. I'm like, is that thunder?
Mm-hmm.
And I looked behind, it was just dark clouds. And I'm like, okay, everybody, we got to wrap it up. And everybody's like, you sure? I'm like, yeah. And then the lightning bolt hit out in the ocean.
Ooh.
Everybody's like, all right.
When Dad's a Met, you listen to Dad.
Yeah, I was like, man, we're not inviting the meteorologist next time.
When thunder roars, go indoors, even if you're on the beach.
Yep.
All right, to Nevada now, where a major dust storm hit the Las Vegas Valley. Take a look at this footage of 2 large blue bins flying across the park.
Oh, my goodness.
It's a race.
And they're off,
I got
everybody.
number 1.
Yeah, outside of a gym in Henderson, as a sudden burst of dust and wind hit the area, wind speeds reportedly reached as high as 60 miles per hour and visibility under a quarter mile at times, blowing dust.
I assume those were empty.
Yeah.
That would really be impressive, but it's impressive enough.
All right, in western Arizona, lightning lit up the sky as the state's 2025 monsoon season is underway. This is slow motion footage capturing multiple lightning bolts spidering across the sky. Just west of Prescott, Arizona's monsoon season began on June 15th and goes through September. So that's when you get that wind flow coming in from the eastern Pacific, and then the heat of the day interacts with that moisture, and you get those pop-up afternoon thunderstorms.
That's mesmerizing.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it is really cool.
That was actually the video Storyful says was taken in Wickiup, which my parents and I had to get gas in when we were on a road trip in
sure
Yellowstone, or not Yellowstone, Grand Canyon.
Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
You made them look at 3 different things in that town.
There wasn't a lot in that town, but
whatever there was,
Mr. and
you
Mrs.
did
Wong
it.
were a little unhappy with the gas prices.
Oh, okay.
It's a very small town, so
Okay.
gas is going to be a little bit higher.
Yeah, a bit higher.
So they're like, we should have waited.
All right, let's go to Argentina. Argentina woke up to something they hadn't seen in more than 3 decades. This is a video out of Miramar, where you can see the beach is covered in a thin layer of snow.
Wow.
Officials say the last time the coastal city located in Buenos Aires province received snow was 1991. Of course, temperatures were chilly too. Officials say they dropped as low as 24 degrees.
Wow.
Along the coast.
That's a hard freeze.
Hello.
I bet the animals were all like,
Cold
what's
plunge.
happening here?
Nah, you can do the cold plunge. I'll pass. And finally, a man in Houston walked outside of his home and found an unwelcome guest. Harris County Constable posted this video.
And it was hot when
deputies
he did it.
working with a professional
Yeah, I love
wrangler to
animal
remove
video.
an alligator from a man's yard. They hosted the gator onto a trailer attached to the pickup, and it was taken to a safe but undisclosed location. And that is humongous.
Some of those areas, I'm thinking, we didn't say where this was in the Houston area, Katie. I'm thinking more like Lake Livingston, some of that stuff up there. Like,
Houston's so huge.
it wouldn't be uncommon to see something like this.
What would y'all do if you saw an alligator like that?
I'd say nope and go the other way.
I would go pet it.
Yeah. I wouldn't be like,
Go to the
let's
fridge, see what you have that you
and
need to get
load
rid
it
of.
into a truck.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they got gators that big down in that area.
Now we do. Now I want to go there.
That guy is not happy.
Where was that place when the hurricane hit? And it's close to Houston, and all the alligators got loose. It must have been that.
I don't know.
It's like
That
when they
alligator
hold
never
them.
got caught back.
I don't remember
since
that.
then?
I don't.
The gate opened, I don't know. It was
Harvey or Ike?
I think it. I don't remember. We'll have to look it up, but maybe that alligator came from there. He's still loose. Summer's in full swing since it's so hot. The latest keeping score was done in the water. Libby and Natalie played a bunch of pool games. They played tic-tac-toe, flamingo ring toss, dove into the pool for rings, ended up a tie. Score now, Libby 70, Natalie was 77.
I didn't know it could end in a tie.
Yeah, I guess it hasn't ended in a tie in a very long time.
Oh, yeah.
But is what they said. But
People demand a winner.
yeah.
By the way, if you're looking for any July 4th activities, you can go to the swim club. They have a whole slate of things to do all weekend.
I bet that would be a
With like
bit
DJs and stuff.
busy
Like,
spot.
it's a spot.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Deep Eddy Vodka stopped by to chat about an easy-to-make drink idea. Olivia and Natalie got details on how to make a pineapple mimosa using Deep Eddy pineapple. It's a new flavor they launched in February. And orange juice and a little Prosecco, of course. If you want the
More.
Or maybe more. Okay, Donnie wants a generous pour.
Okay.
Everybody wants something different. If you want a non-boozy option, you can just go with the pineapple juice, a non-alcoholic Prosecco, or a flavored sparkling water. A bunch of ways to do it. For more details on the distillery, go to deepeddyvodka.com. Now, I don't know if it's still the case with you, Zach. There was a time when you were quite a fan of the different Deep Eddy vodkas.
Yeah, the lemonade.
Pineapple? Does pineapple appeal to you?
Yeah,
That sounds very good to me.
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah. Not coconut, though.
No, if they make that, you're out. Yeah, okay. I don't think we're done.
Well, there's a new wellness destination in Central Texas, the Autine. That's how we said it, right? Autine.
Yes.
Mineral Springs offers a spa, food, and of course some relaxing springs. This was actually Tiara's first official live shot.
Yep, back in action.
After maternity leave.
Okay.
She was out there checking things out, and Austin Travels came by as well. I was on vacation, but they came in and talked about it.
Pam talked about how the cool history of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful spot. Pools, seasonal temperatures there, and there are 5 of them. It has really blown up. I was telling Tiara before she went out there when we were talking about like what she wanted to do. She was like, I've seen this on TikTok like everywhere. Like people have been posting, and then they've just done a really great job of just kind of renovating it and looking.
Well, it looks that way.
Like elevated.
Yeah, absolutely. Pam talked about the history of it. It started, I guess it was discovered kind of by accident. People looking for oil, and then it became a spot, 70, 80 years ago for people who had polio, and the epidemic thought that those spring waters would bring some healing properties to them. And so there's a lot of history on the site. I believe they might even still have an iron lung at one place where you can look at it, and then also luxury. So
How disappointed would you be if you were looking for oil and you found a mineral spring?
well, yeah.
Like, well,
that
this
wasn't
is
the
good
point
for
of
my
it.
sciatica, but I'm not even making any money on that.
That's right.
All right, I headed out to YMCA in Round Rock to talk to the senior fitness director to get details about e-gym technology. So it's basically biohacking your age to your metabolic age, and they say it's gonna make you healthier. It's very interesting. They take all these measurements of your body, and then basically you get on these machines. You have a wristband, so it's like a smart device, and you hit it you scan it, and then it figures out how strong you are, and then it's a little rotation circuit, and all of it is ready for you right when you get on it with the amount of weight that you can handle.
Does it make you younger?
No.
So did you figure out what your metabolic
I
age
think I was 21.
Okay, so
Metabolic was
all right.
21.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thanks.
Yeah, golf club for that.
Thanks.
Very good. Very good.
Did she say normally what you have to do if say you were 50, right? So you just have to work out more
Was that
or
an
whatever?
arbitrary number you picked
No,
out?
I'm just saying older than your age,
I don't know. That's a good question. But it does, right when you get on it, if you're older, I'm assuming that it'll just be easier because the weights will be lighter. I don't know.
That's pretty cool, though. I was watching that. I'm like, that's pretty interesting.
It was cool. I enjoyed it. And it's only 20 minutes, the whole circuit, so it's easy to go knock it
Perfect.
out.
I like that. Yeah. I recently got a chance to check out, and this gentleman as well, a spot that has 60 wines and a lot of great food to go with it.
Tried every single one.
60 vines. And I started.
Still hearing it.
I started talking pretty in the domain. We got detail because a lot of great food as well. Again, Donnie joined me out there. We'll be airing our segment on the digital exclusive Good Day Austin Extra. I would have thought that might have already been on there.
It hasn't yet.
Okay.
I didn't have time to put it up.
Okay,
Coming up next week.
that was a nice one. That was when we talked about the food. And again, the wine is so cool. And what I liked about that, so many people maybe get intimidated by wine, they said. So many other people think they know wine and want
They
to
don't?
talk. No, they're going to say they might and might want to talk about it in depth. They might not want it dumbed down for them.
Yeah.
These guys can play it however you want. If you want to have a conversation about what's what, and they can do that. If you just want them to hand you something they think is going to pair well with what you're eating and not talk about it, they can do that. And then again, like I said, some really good food.
Best cheesecake I think I've ever had.
I might be there with you.
Yeah.
And
What
it didn't even have a
flavor?
crust.
Yeah, it's a Basque cheesecake, so there's no crust. She said it tastes.
Is it just
so
regular?
good.
It's I think the
was
cheesecake
lighter.
itself
It was
is
lighter.
but they don't put the
Because it was
crust on it.
gluten-free. Well, I guess that's what the crust was.
Yeah, and then they kind of it takes 24 hours to make it. She said.
No flavor.
Quite a bit
They
of
put
flavor.
these the cheesecake itself had flavor.
Yeah, it
Then
was
they added
delicious.
these kind of canned cherry, maraschino cherry, their version of it.
You know, I wasn't listening about it.
It
I was
was
just eating
delicious.
it.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was very, very
That was
good.
a
They gave us one small. The pizza was
Pizza
good.
was very good. Now,
Yeah.
that was the kind of like the Alfredo style, not the
Oh,
marinara.
gotcha. Yeah.
Which, man, my daughter and wife love that one. Maybe even more than the traditional pizzas. And I'm a traditional pizza guy, but it was very good. All very good.
Yeah, I had to really keep myself from having G's piece of cheesecake.
You did. That was very kind of
We
you.
did split it in three.
G
so
was
they goes
still
one
shooting some
slice.
video.
So G was shooting our photographer. Yeah.
Yeah.
How much wine did y'all drink?
Not a lot. I had a couple sips of the rosé. I'm not gonna lie. Off camera.
Of course. Why not? You're at
on
65.
Did I say that?
I had about 9 bottles on camera and then a couple more sips off camera.
Well, a popular docu-series is back for another season on Netflix. America's Sweethearts, Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders returns for season 2, and Atiana spoke to Cowboys Cheerleaders director Kelly Finglass. She's been there for a while.
Yeah, she's familiar.
She's basically like has really formed
The
that whole
coach?
program.
Yeah,
And 2 of the cheerleaders. The show follows the team selection, gives a look into the life of those that have been chosen to be on the squad. I've heard a lot of people talk about season 2. They said it's really good.
Okay.
I think it's pretty cool how like season 1 kind of put a lot of focus into kind of their lives. You know, I didn't think a lot of people knew like how much they made, what they
Yeah.
had to do outside of cheer. You know, because you think, oh, they work for an NFL team, they probably make a lot of money, and then you realize, oh, they really don't, and they have to work all these other jobs. So it's kind of cool, and I think they got a pay raise.
They did.
According to most, it's because of
We
the
reported that. David
Yeah.
and I did
Yeah.
on Good Day Austin.
all the attention on the show. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty exciting. I think I have a friend who's watched like every season of the one they had before. And I'm like, you watched 24 seasons of that? Remember they used to have that?
Yeah,
there used to be
they
a
had different
Cowboys
shows.
Cheerleaders,
Yeah.
and it
Wow.
was just about the process of being
Yeah,
on the
the
team. I don't
process,
think they
yeah.
ever.
I don't remember that.
It was
I
like
remember-
20-something seasons.
I remember about 20 years ago, NFL Network would do one in the offseason of different squads. They were with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I didn't realize that some of these
Kind of like Hard Knocks, but with
Yes,
cheerleading.
and some of these girls, like if you didn't make the Cowboys cheerleaders, you might not be from Tampa. You drive down there, try to make the Buccaneers
Oh, wow.
or wherever.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Suddenly you're a whole other team's fan.
Hey,
All right, enjoy some time on the water with Float on Boat Rentals. Tiara was out there on Lake Austin, talked about all the different things you can rent or join in on. Float On also offers rentals on Lake Travis, so you can rent crafts with or without a captain.
They have a lot of cool options. You can do a pontoon. Then they also said if you just want to go like Devil's Cove or whatever, you can just buy a ticket and then join like a big group, like on a party boat or something.
Oh, really?
Okay.
So they have a lot of.
Wait a
cool
minute, you can buy a ticket and just join somebody else's party?
Yeah, I mean, if there's not enough people, I mean, say like the
There's
four of us.
cousin Bill. Who are
Well, say
you?
like the 4 of us wanted to get on a pontoon boat, but we don't want to find
Well,
40
okay,
people
So it's
and
not
pay
for
a
a
lot
specific event, though. This is we're taking a
for it.
bunch
No,
of
I
people
think it's
out
like
there.
you just want to go on the boat for the weekend.
Okay. Yeah.
I'd do it.
All right. Yes,
Well,
you
no-
would. And everybody would love you. That's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Another great way to cool off, course, in the water. You can belly flop into it.
Ouch.
This was pretty cool.
ouch.
So my buddy Tyler actually did this. He got robbed, I think. I wasn't there, but he posted a video of him belly flopping. Woody's on West 6. They held a belly flop competition. Participants went up to $500 with cash prizes.
And a hot dog.
Second and third
And a
place
shot?
got prizes as well.
Consolation prizes.
Yeah, my friend Tyler's been in a couple belly flop competitions
I mean-
lately. But
And he lost?
yeah,
Why do you think he should have won?
it was a good flop. Like he landed wide and he was like flat. I think to me, a good belly flop is when you land flat. Like that guy's not. That's a dive.
Yeah.
A lot of these people cheat, which I don't blame them. I think
Head
your
first.
I think your
Yeah.
body. We've all done a belly flop.
Yeah.
So at the last second, your body moves up your legs or something. Like we're not going to
Yeah,
do this.
right,
Yeah.
right.
And so you've got to like really take it.
Yeah.
I don't wish on anybody.
That's
I
what
don't
I
want
think.
anyone to
At
do
least
that.
the video my buddy Tyler showed, he was like star-shaped flat. And
I
was
wonder
like,
if that's people who have maybe had more than their allotment of shots.
You have to, right?
Suddenly thinking like just splatting.
those guys we
Your
interviewed
body
were
be
funny
loaded.
too.
Yeah, they were.
were pretty funny.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
they
good
were.
I was like,
commentary.
I don't even know how to swim really. But
That sounds like another issue. Andrea Cook with Mad Science came by to talk about freezing point depression, taught us a fun way, all about that in a fun way by making some ice cream. And Katie Jackson over here really took to this project, and we're
welcome.
tight on time at the end of this segment yesterday as we're taping this. And so we didn't have a lot of time to get into it. Katie kept working on the ice cream, and by about 10, 20 minutes later, you had
We had
ice cream
ice
in a
cream.
bag.
by
Yeah,
chili
ice cream.
cook-off time, we
Yeah,
had.
no, you did it. That was all you, and it was good.
It was good.
Didn't taste bad.
Yeah,
Just vanilla.
I'm
Did
very
you have
proud
any
of
other
us.
flavor to it, or?
So do you remember
just
some of
vanilla.
the science behind it?
So Atiana started, we did an assembly line. She put the heavy whipping cream.
Yeah.
Um,
I spilled some ice cubes.
and then I put the sugar
Yeah, thank
and
you.
vanilla.
Yeah.
And then y'all had the ice bag with
Yes.
salt,
Oh,
rock
yeah,
salt.
I put the salt in, yeah.
And then we put ours, double bagged it and put ours in yours and then shake it
That's
for 10
when
minutes.
your work just started.
Shake, shake,
Yeah.
shake.
Well, that's when you were shaking before
Yeah.
the band
Shake,
came
shake,
on.
shake.
But I
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
like this is so easy for people to do at home. So I hope
And
you
you
got those
thought-
instructions.
You said if they were able to freeze it for a while, that
Yes,
would
it
be
needs to
even
be.
better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
It was really good though.
All right, not too far from Austin, you can check out an important historical spot. Pam LeBlanc with Austin Travels to talk about the Galt Archaeological Site. Back in the 1980s, it was a site where you could go just try to dig things up, kind of one of those fun summer events, maybe pass the time with the kids. But one expert out there realized this spot was much more significant than originally thought, and he found artifacts that dated back 18,000 years.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be the most significant, the oldest dating archaeological site, I believe she said, in the Western Hemisphere.
Wow.
And it's just an hour outside of town. This gentleman bought the site, ultimately donated it back, so nothing would ever be developed there. And like Pam said, it's visually, compared to some things you might be able to do, there's not that much to see, but the significance of it is fascinating if you ever want to go out there.
Wow.
That's like that mammoth place out in Waco.
Yeah.
You know, it's cool. I mean, obviously it's a mammoth. It's not a bunch of like arrowheads, but it's still kind of, you just go and you're like, oh, cool. It's like a pit. But it's still cool, you know, just the history.
You're like, I want to go down there and dig. I won't let you.
The thing that's so fun about Pam, and I said this when she came in, you know, and I've said it before, 1 week she'll come back from, she's been on the other side of the world.
Switzerland or something.
And the next time she's an hour down the road, and she said, you know, that's part of travel too. So few people sometimes check out things that are just right down the street from where you live. You could go anytime, and anywhere you are, there's some really cool spots very close. You don't have to travel all over the place to check them out.
That's why road trips are fun, Dave.
A road trip, I love a road trip. I do.
Just not with me, apparently.
What do you mean?
No, you always joke about how I do too many stops.
Yeah, that's true.
How many stops?
Well,
We stop a lot.
For what?
Check out everything.
Like to exactly what Dave's saying. Like
Explore.
sometimes I'll like
I
drive
have-
by something, I'll be like, oh, that looks pretty cool.
no,
And so I'll
I
just
have,
be
I
like,
have road tripped to Dallas for a ball game with Donnie. He's been kind of texting, so you
Yeah.
go to the game, go back.
Yeah.
He takes road trips with his parents, Mr. and Ms. Wong,
Yes.
where he makes it a point to stop at every single little thing.
not everything, but maybe
9
more
out of
often.
10 things.
Yes, yeah.
We
yeah.
need to get them up here on this set one of these days. I know we never will. Let them.
I
Maybe
know what
even,
your dad would say.
maybe even like excuse you and talk like, what do you really think about these trips? But
I wonder
They
what
love
it was
them.
like when you were a kid. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? And then now that you're an adult and you have the control.
We
okay,
didn't really
Dad,
do
we're
a lot of
stopping.
road trips growing up because, you know, we had a restaurant. So
You're
we
making
couldn't
up for it.
travel. Yeah,
Yeah.
now we are, yeah.
you
lost
said
time.
your
Lost
dad gears up for his vacations as a retired man.
He does, yes. He like rests at home, literally rests at home. My mom, I'll call my mom like a
Donnie's
week
got something
before.
booked, yeah.
And I'll be like, what's Dad doing? She's like, I just laying on the couch. And I go,
yeah.
why? And she's like, well, he's got to save his energy.
Rest up. Sure
Knows
does.
they're going to be hiking and doing a bunch of random
I like that method. I'm gonna practice. All right, lots of ways to relax and wind down. Speaking of, and I went out to the Wayback. This place is so cool.
The Wayback is a really, really cool spot.
Oh,
You never
it's
been?
So peaceful. No.
Yeah, it's-
never been. You can rent out little cabins there. What are they
It's
called?
like tucked away and like, you know, it's like off the main
Bee
highway.
Caves, yeah, it's headed to Lakeway, and it's just right there.
Really?
Anyway,
Yeah,
yeah,
cottages
it's very
and stuff,
peaceful. Yeah,
yeah.
cottages, that's what they are. And this sweet girl, Madison Popkins, she holds classes, watercoloring classes.
You made some really nice pictures. Those are nice
you.
little scenes. I mean,
It was
That's
really
hers,
nice,
but-
yeah.
yeah. Well, yours. We're gonna see
Mine's
yours.
coming.
Okay.
That's mine.
Clouds,
Yeah,
though.
I like that.
We need some clouds.
Clouds.
That could be.
But it's really therapeutic.
Did you frame it up and is it in? house?
No. I moved, so you know some things got cut. But I will say,
Next time.
yeah. I mean, I painted
Well,
that
that
in
was
3
worthy of
minutes.
being on your wall.
Like,
I think it was
so
worthy.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Being on a wall.
I highly recommend that. class.
Yeah, and you did it while holding a mic.
That's what I told her yesterday.
pretty
That's
impressive.
double. Yeah, I agree.
I like to do things fast and efficient,
Yeah, well, you did.
but I need to practice on it.
Well, that probably defeats the purpose of what this is.
And relax.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great spot. I've been out there a couple times with Tiara for different things, and it's so peaceful. Like you drive in and you're just like, where am I? You feel like you're in an entirely different place.
They have a restaurant there. You can go anytime and eat at the restaurant.
Really?
Yeah, it's cool. Well, Zilker
Say it.
Zilker Brewing Company is bringing back its field day as teams of two compete on the 4th of July. There's going to be physical and skill-based challenges testing strength, agility, endurance, and coordination. We're talking balloon tosses, as you can see, 3-legged race, eating contest. These guys crack me up.
Yes, they were in full character.
There'll, of course, be lots of craft beer for you to try, local food vendors, and live music as well.
Here's the only thing about it. It looks like an amazing time
Yeah.
out there. But they kept saying, like, you remember field day in elementary? This is just like that. Except
beer?
the pounding the beer. Yes. I'm happy to say that my elementary school experience, can't speak for everybody who's in attendance. It's all
Yeah.
mom and dads. I don't
It
know.
looks like it'd be fun, but I don't know if I'd want to do it all in the heat. And
Well, you don't have to. You could just be out there enjoying beer and some food.
You could do the
together.
watermelon eating contest.
I could do that. You're right.
Yeah, refreshing. All right, now it's time to dive into our video vault. We're going to check out a 4th of July celebration in one Northwest Austin neighborhood. This is a story from our reporter Phil Miller back in 1966. Take a look.
Hopefully we can hear it.
What's your name? What is it now? What's your name, honey?
Dana.
Dana? Why are you riding in this parade, Dana? You don't know why you're riding in the parade? Why is your bicycle all decorated up with all this paper? Did your mommy tell you just to decorate the bicycle? Okay, honey. Kelly Rogers. Kelly, look right around here for just a second. Why are you riding in this parade? You don't know why you're riding in the parade? What does the 4th of July mean?
Uncle Sam's birthday.
Uncle Sam's birthday. Well, I think that's a pretty good answer. Where'd you get all these streamers?
Store.
At the store, all right. How long have you been working on your bicycle?
Well, half the night.
Half the night. What's your name, honey?
Donna Kincaid.
Where do you live, Donna?
On Fairlane.
Oh, Fairlane, okay. Why are you riding in this parade?
I don't know, just for fun.
Just for fun? Well, this is the 4th of July, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's got to mean something.
Yes, sir.
What does 4th of July mean to you?
Yeah.
What happened on the 4th of July?
Some decoration in
You bet. Well, the 4th of July here in Northwest Austin certainly means a parade. We found that out from a lot of the little kids who have participated in it. I'm sure the 4th of July, to many of those who are looking in this evening, that means a lot more than that. Maybe some of the very small kids don't realize what happened 190 years ago, but at least they do know that what happened was important enough to have a parade. This is Phil Miller reporting for Newsday.
For Newsday, Phil Miller.
Okay, thanks for clearing. That's the only thing I heard.
It's always so hard to hear in the studio, and I promise, if you watch it online,
Okay.
you can hear it.
And anyone who's lived here for quite a while, and maybe even remembers that, we're fascinated to know what part of town that
What
was.
if one of the kids is watching and they're like, that's me?
I think
That'd be pretty cool. Let us know. That'd be awesome.
I did not sign off on this.
Thanks for watching the Good Day Austin.
Okay, well, that's okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, if you're watching that, that's crazy. A lot of bikes, and we saw someone dressed up like a walking firecracker.
It looked,
You
yes.
thought maybe it was a cigarette.
It looked like it could be either
I think it
or.
was a
you know,
fire-
it's-
it was
a
kind of
firecracker.
too- yeah,
4th of
that would make
July.
more sense.
And
Although it was the 60s.
that person, I hope, got a nice glass of water at the end of the parade.
All right, thanks for watching this edition of the Good Day Austin Roundup. Get details about the stories we talked about on the Good Day section of our website.
You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Remember, Good Day Austin starts every weekday morning at 5 a.m. You can also stream us every day live on the Fox Local mobile and connected TV apps.
Yeah, those are free to download. And besides streaming on your phone, you can also stream on multiple platforms like Roku and Apple TV.
And of course, watch the morning show, newscast. We've also got other great shows exclusively on those platforms like Fox en Espanol and the aforementioned Good Day Austin Extra. So check them all out, please.
Thanks for
Help
watching
me keep my job.
this edition. Yes. And I was about to read the next thing. I'm not going to say that.
Oh, we're just going to roll into the
We'll
next
see you
thing.
later.
Bye, y'all.